Okay, Patreons, here's a crafting guide for you guys. Long overdue, I know. We're up and running as far as the economy's going, and there's actually some interesting stuff going on, so we'll talk about that. First up, Super Waters, Moonshines. I guess first up is I'm running at 22 crafting, 25 hideout management, so your results will vary. I hope some of you are further than me. I haven't grinded very hard this wipe, but it helps. So, Super Waters, they crashed in price. Sugars went through the roof. Like I said, it would happen. I just didn't expect fucking 90K sugar. This definitely took me by surprise. It's been a slow, steady climb, and it looks like we've peaked out. We shall see. Might start to trail off, might stay where it's at. It's gonna do whatever Moonshine does. So if Moonshine keeps climbing, it'll keep climbing. Because we've seen the same thing with Moonshine on this slow, steady climb, but it doesn't look like it's really plateaued yet. And so yeah, you can make money with it. Not a lot. I just craft it like crazy because it's good for flea market rep. Flea market rating as you build all that up. Intel Center, intelligence you can make okay money on. Just 100K pop. Try to get your flash drives under 135K, and then look for 425 on your Intels, which you can do better than that. Today it spiked up a bunch, but 425 seems to be kind of be the ceiling. When these do decide to pull back, they will pull back fast. So don't sit on Intels, just sell them. Sure, you might miss out if it goes to 450 or something, but you're going to be even more upset if it goes to like 350 in a couple of days, which I've seen it do before. VPX's okay craft if you can do it. Again, you got to do return the favor. And then military flash drives, if you have those unlocked from Intel 3, shoot for about 150, which you can do. You can do better sometimes even. I put 150 in there because it's a low ball. And you'll do all right as far as an 8-hour, a shorter craft in the Intel Center at only 8 hours. Other than that, not much else. You're just not going to make money with flash drives or some of the other stuff we have in here, even if you have it unlocked. Laboratory, best craft, it shows as the filter. This is only if you're using your partially used up water filters, so keep that in mind. Tarkov Market's doinky right now because it shows you the used ones. They're not selling for 60K. They're selling for like 200 at the cheapest, 300 at the most. I buy these just to keep my hideout manager going, and I've been spending about 250, so that's the price I put in there. Though you can definitely get more. The best craft right now for just ease of use is the Untar armor into ALU splints. Now, the catch with this is you got to do the barter, which isn't hard. It's 2 energy drinks, and it costs like 12K a piece to 13K a piece. Get yourself an Untar armor, and you're going to more than double your money with that craft. I shoot for 25K. I usually get it, sell them in big stacks at 25K and just let them sit. If you want to go down to like 23, 24 just to get them sold, it's not going to be a huge deal. Still makes a ton of money. Pretty good craft and simple, one item. That and ripstop. I sell for 30K, which is on the tippy top. We did have some weird spikes, and I can't tell. I don't know what's going on here exactly. Weekends, things like that, but it's trailing off again. I think 30K is a pretty stable price you'll be able to get though. So that's what I put in there. And then 14K for the slickers. That's what you're not going to buy them for these. It's, you barter for your slickers, or barter for your scav vest with the slickers and then turn that into money. Kind of lower on the list, but still okay is the P.A.C.As. Airmids at 22K for your cell, but you can squeeze a little bit more out of this if you're frugal. These half masks, if you can get them for under 9K, do it. Buy them at 9K, 8K, 7K sometimes. It's going to be cheaper than getting the P.A.C.A. Any other way. You can get them sometimes cheaper. Let me see if they're any cheaper on here right now. Sometimes you can see them around 25K on the flea if you're watching. Unfortunately, that used to be a great one on Fence. When they changed his prices around, it's not the case anymore. You're going to see maybe 30K, but usually like 33 for the P.A.C.As on Fence. And yeah, so possible there. If you get them down, like let's say you get them for 8K, the masks for 8K, that's going to put you at 24K. Yeah, 24K. It bumps the price up quite a bit. You can see how impactful even a little bit can have. 27K is, it matters just because how fast the craft is. Bleach, if you want to do it, as you all know, I don't like this craft because it takes up a ton of fucking space everywhere. Takes a ton of scav junk boxes, but if that's your thing, go for it. Soaps at 9K, you can do better than that. Alkalize at 10K, and you can do better than that. Sodium's at 19K, which that's pretty much it because people tend to buy them up and use them for AFAC barters if they're not there. And then Bleach just doesn't do much more than 10.5 other than on the weekends. I've never seen it do this, so I don't want to say for sure you can sell them for this much. 10.5 seems to be a pretty hard ceiling, though on the weekends maybe you can get a little bit more out of it than that. But at 10.5, you're still making decent money. Other than that, not much else. I do grenade cases just because it uses up my fuel. The big thing is try to get your nuts around 15,000 if you can. It's hard. And then your bolts around 20K if you can. You're buying them at the very bottom of what they are, and it can be hard to get them there. But if you get lucky and get them, it makes a big difference with your grenade craft and or your grenade case craft with your fuel tanks. Aside from that, you can also do mag cases and do okay if you're burning blue fuel. If you have to buy the blue fuel cans, you don't make any money, so I wouldn't do that. It's just on the vendor price, basically, of what I said for the 4K. Same thing with the metal cans, 4K. And you're all right there. MedStation Propital always looks like the best craft because you're using used up golden stars. Still the case, or ibuprofens, whichever you want to use, makes it a little bit cheaper. Does pretty good. Propitals are at a weird spot right now because they're right at the vendor price. Because they sell from Therapist for what, 30. She sells them for 33K. So that does some weird stuff right in this price range. Eventually, we're going to blow past it. They're going to sell out every reset, and we're going to be seeing 45, 50K on the bottom end. I didn't type anything in here because I wanted to look at that and talk about it. But if you're getting 45K, you're killing it with your Propitals. You can even do that with fully paid golden stars and make decent money. So keep that in mind. Or like half used golden stars. Whatever you want to do, it ends up penning out. Just keep in mind that the ibuprofen, I'm not spending this much. You're doing it with the barter with Therapist, which I probably should. I thought that was the same, but I didn't look at it super close. So meds are 60K, blood sets are 10K still. So you're talking that barter is quite a bit more expensive. Let's fix that real quick. That barter is going to be 20, 60, 70K. So you're 70K on the low end, which takes a bite out of that, but still pretty good. Pile of meds. I've been successful selling them at 25K. I don't know how long it's going to last. I didn't expect it to last this long. Why do I have 3,000 in there? That's not right. 30,000. There we go. Make it about 50K per cycle, and it's just an easy craft. Just one of the ones you can do. Always do pile of meds. SJ6's caveat with this is found in raid or non-found in raid SJ1s because you die with one or whatever. I don't know what these cost on fence. I don't know that I've ever seen one pop up on fence. If you can get one here, it's probably, seeing as morphines are 32K, my guess is it's going to be like 40 or 50K. So not that much cheaper than if you just buy it straight off the flea. Even buying them off the flea, all other things considered, you're making about 40K. So not a bad craft, just a little bit longer, but it is there. Super useful, especially if you get these vitamins or NaCls out of raid, non-found in a raid. And you can get these cheaper too. They do dip down into their 17K price for the trader price, and then the NaCls, they're up and down between about 20 and 30 or 35. So if you're seeing those cheaper, let's say 22K, it all just starts to add up. And SJ6s I have at 95. That's a little high, but I suspect they're going to keep getting more and more expensive. There's just so much money in the economy right now because Bitcoin's so high. We're just going to see stuff like this that the gamers run, people, streamers and people that play a lot and people that don't care about money. They just buy shit like this. They don't care. So that's your opportunity to make money off of them if you are still about it. AFAX, this is just with used IFAX if you can get them. Get them cheap off of Fence. I'll run the price up a little bit more because I think that's a little bit much, but you're at 30K there. Easy craft CMS you can do okay with. It's not great, but it's an easy craft because you can just stock up on the med tools and then buy the car med kits off a Therapist each time you do the craft. Pretty straightforward. Salewa's not worth it. LEDX, if you have them, sure, you can do okay there. But you got to have the craft and you got to have the military, the micro circuit board thingies, whatever they are. Defibs have gone through the roof in price. So just try to get your components stocked up with this because they do get expensive at night, and it really basically it eats all your profit away if you buy your components at night before you log off. But this is still a good overnight craft for the med station. Mules are okay if you have them unlocked. They're not great. I don't know what these are spiking at. You got to have crisis done. So yeah, they do push like 150, 145,000. So they can make a little bit more sense. But again, you got to have crisis done to do this. Other than that, not much else in here. In the med station nutrition unit is pretty wild. You can make really good money with whiskey and vodka right now. Easily 25, 30K an hour without much thought because they're longer crafts, hour, half crafts, even with skills. If you're using used up water, it's obviously that much cheaper. We'll just put zero price in here. It has a pretty big impact on how much you are making on that, or half price water because you're drinking half of it, half of your waters, or whatever it might be between raids. Just keep those stocked up, drink them down as you can, and then use them for your crafts. Other than that, you're okay with emergency water rations. Slickers are okay. It's something to alternate. I just alternate between whiskey and vodka because it's easy. I can fill up my cases. I can send them at the end of the night. 64K is really high, but doable. The key thing when I sell these guys, and some of you've seen me do this, is when you go to sell vodka or moonshines or whiskeys, go down a few screens and look for your first big sale, right? Like this is kind of your first big sale right here. It's 24,000. That's 64K. But even your next ones are pushing into the higher 60s. And that works for vodka too. You can do the same thing. And that's how I price, is I price under that next big slot of items. Like this guy here, I wouldn't try to sell behind him because that's where the person buying the thick case is going to go. Because it's just easier. It sucks trying to buy up a bunch of vodkas one at a time when you can just buy 40 of them at a time. So that's what I do, is craft a big stack, and then you can get these higher prices really easily. Even in the middle of the day, I just sold some here about 1 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock my time. I sold a stack of 40, I think, for 44K. So it'll work. That's it for the nutrition center. Water collector, shit's getting expensive, but it still makes money. Just keep crafting it. I've gotten past where I just turn these into moonshines now. I don't even sit on them anymore or sell them because I'm at almost 70 flea rep and I just tired of grinding, so it's just easier. Workbench, printed circuit boards, always a really good craft. Shoot for 12K on your DVDs and 20K on the cell. You got to do that on peaks, but they'll do it. Green gunpowder. I might start doing this craft pretty steadily now. It is a little bit longer. It's an hour and a half, but it's good money and it's so easy. You just got to buy the shit off the trader and you don't have to think about it. And it's a great way to make dollars. What I tend to do is you got to buy dollars. Obviously, these things are from the trader in dollars. And then I sell my green gunpowder in dollars. And that keeps my dollars pretty well stocked. I don't have to do any crazy stuff because you're like tripling, double or tripling. You're taking $100 and turning it into 200 or 300. Just kind of depends on how you price it and how you do. You can also do okay with the printed circuit boards here if you're looking to cycle and you just want one output. That's what I recommend this to people. You can do these 2 printed circuit board crafts and cycle those and do decent money, and then you only have one thing to sell instead of 2 or 3 if you're doing lots of others. Magnet craft is a end of the day craft at all, just like I talked about the defibs. That's what happens here. This and some other stuff, but you push 30, 32, maybe 35K, get your hard drives for 11K or less, and you'll do okay as far as selling. Not as good as some of these others, but it's there. Just want to point them out. You can craft PBM, just pointing it out. It's not a great craft, but it's there. Makes you about 30K. If you can squeeze 450 rubles around, which I haven't been able to. I've actually had some of these not sell on me, unfortunately. If you can squeeze this out, you can make good money with this. Just keep an eye on PBM. If you see PBM all of a sudden go to like 500 or 600 a round, which it's done in previous wipes, I'm not 100% sure why it's not doing it anymore. But if you see that, then for sure you can make okay money with the PBM. Power cords that go to craft. Wires are pretty straightforward. 11,000 your max, but you might even want to put 10.5 in here just to make sure you can sell them. It doesn't impact your price that much. The big deal is if you can find power cords cheap. If you see them fall down to like 15K or less, which they do, and you get lucky and you get those, it really does impact how much you can make over here. Blue gunpowder. The biggest thing I don't like about this craft is it just takes a long time and it doesn't make that much money. It is 30K. If you don't have some of your higher level workbenches, it's an option, but there's just better stuff to do out there. And you can't, kite just doesn't get that expensive. These 30Ks are such one-offs, you're talking 27, 28K. So there just isn't a lot of upper end. You've got the easy round pliers craft as always, to shoot for 11,000 on your yellow pliers and then vendor. And there is opportunity with PSUs, especially if you can get them cheaper. Sometimes you'll see them under 40K, and they do push that. The big deal is sometimes capacitors go crazy. And I think it's just because they sell out on the market and there's not any there, and people need them to craft things at the end of the night, so they buy them up anyways. So you can potentially get like 22, 23,000 out of these and make good money, but it's a stretch. It's kind of a risk. You can do it. It's there. The M62 craft is kind of your good overnight craft if you're looking to make money. This is going to make you the most money per craft. Even if you only get like 1,000 per round out of it, you're still making about 70, 80K, but 1,200 is definitely doable. 1,100 for sure. For me though, my night craft, I'm crafting usable ammo, not stuff to sell. But for profit, that is what's there for you. Other than that, not a lot else that's worth bringing up. That is the top crafts, essentially. Replace, so printed circuit board, vodka, not Propital, but pile of meds, right? Which one is it? Yeah, pile of meds. And then instead of the FP100, you want either Aramid or Ripstop, depending on how you're getting your stuff. Probably Ripstop, but even the LU splints can do pretty good. And that's that. That's the crafting video. I don't know how long we went. What did we do? Did I talk too much? I'm looking over here. Where's my timer? Oh, there we go. 16 minutes. Not bad. Hope this is helpful for you guys. We'll see if we can do another one next week if anything changes. I don't suspect it will unless we get an update. We're getting into maybe event territory for BSG, but we'll see. I think we're going to see events lead into Arena and Tarkov being linked, and that's sometime this spring, supposedly. But we'll see. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the support. We'll see you in the next one.